Hi, it's Rabbi Shoshana joining you again as we move towards Shabbat. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking to you about this week's Torah portion. We're reading the first 5 chapters of the book of Leviticus, going into detail about all of the sacrifices that the priests were intended to offer in the ancient temple. But I am going to speak a little bit about the Haftarah, the prophetic teaching that accompanies this week's Torah portion. It comes from Deutero-Isaiah, the second half of the book of Isaiah, which was written in exile as a way to comfort the Jews who were missing their homes. This week's Haftarah portion particularly ridicules the idea of idol worship, and it gives the example of a woodcutter who might chop down a tree, trim it for wood, take half the wood, throw it on the fire, put a roast over the fire and eat it, and then take the other half of the wood, carve it into a god, and bow down to it. So it makes this whole idea of worshiping idols look pretty silly. I thought this week in particular about the way that we have found ourselves making idols in recent days of things like toilet paper, pasta, rice, stuff that suddenly has seemed so precious to us. When we look back on ourselves in a few months, I hope that we'll think that our behavior was just a little bit silly, but also appreciate that what we're doing is trying to exercise a bit of control in our lives when it seems like so much control has been wrested away from us. This week's Haftarah also has some messages of consolation and reminders of God's love, and I wanted to read just a little bit for you. So this is from the opening of chapter 44 of the book of Isaiah. Listen to me now, O Jacob, my servant Israel, my chosen one. Thus says the Eternal One, your Maker, who formed you from the womb and will help you. Have no fear, Jacob, my servant, Jeshurun, my chosen one. As I pour water on thirsty soil and streams on dry ground, so will I pour my spirit on your descendants, my blessing upon your offspring. This seems to me to be a reminder of God's love for us. We Jews traditionally have understood that God's love comes to us through the gift of the Torah, the mitzvot, the commandments, the detailed practices that we may have in our lives that give our lives shape and a sense of rhythm. To bring you into Shabbat, I'd like to sing to you the prayer Ahavat Olam that is part of our evening service, which speaks of God's eternal love to us. If you want to sing along, it's on page 150 in Mishkan Tefillah. This particular arrangement is by the composer Dean Staker. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amecha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu lemadeta al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu u'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu u'bahem negeh yomam v'layla ve'ahavatecha al tahasir mimenu le'olamim baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom. May you and your loved ones all enjoy a sense of peace and serenity over this Shabbat and in the days to come.